Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Heartland Farm for the weekly Sunday episode of our little show, The Toy and the Real McCoy. Tractor Tim and the Toys, I guess is what it's called on YouTube. Today we're going to talk about the Minneapolis Moline G1000 tractor a little bit. And before we do that, I just want to point out something here. I love to read, and this is a book that I've thoroughly enjoyed called Plow Peddler, written by an old boy named Walt Busher. Walt was in the marketing department at Allis-Chalmers. And back in the early 1960s, I'm going to keep that up there for a minute. Back in the early 1960s, Walt was charged with the responsibility of gathering up all the Allis-Chalmers dealers in the United States and bringing them together for their first annual dealer meeting. So he looked for a suitable place in the heartland, and he found the Grand Hotel in French Lick, Indiana, as the place that he was going to bring the dealers together. Of course, it wasn't a huge number of dealers, but it was substantial. They overwhelmed the Grand Hotel in French Lick, and that hotel had mineral springs nearby and was known for its healing waters of the mineral springs. And in the medicine cabinets of every room in the Grand Hotel in French Lick was a bottle of this natural mineral water. Well, all these old boys were away from home without their wives for the first time, and they got in those medicine cabinets and they saw that stuff and they thought it was a mixer to go with their booze. So they generously mixed the mineral water with their booze, and suffice to say they overwhelmed the plumbing of the Grand Hotel the next day in French Lick, Indiana. A lot of guys were late to the unveiling of the D-Series tractors. But just a little anecdote. I love the tractor business and all the stories that are associated with it, and this episode is dedicated to all the old plow peddlers like Walt Busher and so many others that have made this industry the proud industry it is that has helped feed the world. So this today we're going to talk about is the Minneapolis Moline G1000 tractor. This one is a custom built toy built by a custom modeler named Gilbert Berg. I bought it a number of years ago on eBay. It's a very heavy, non-mass produced toy, so to pick that up is way heavier than something that would start out as a play toy. It's got the cast weights, it's got the mechanical front wheel drive, and has a 3-point hitch. Illustrates the side console of the G1000. Beautiful tractor. So Minneapolis Moline is an obscure brand, and there may be some of you watching that aren't aware of that brand at all. Minneapolis Moline was created in 1929 by the merger of three companies. One was the Moline Plow Company, the Minneapolis Steel and Machinery Company, and a third one. I'm sorry. I knew that, but I got a little rattled. We just got back from lunch. But anyway, in 1929. So Minneapolis Moline was one of the early companies that made tractors. Their slogan was the world's finest tractors, which of course everybody wants to claim that they have the world's finest tractor. But Moline was a very innovative company. They built some super, super high quality tractors. They were known more in the Midwest and in some of the Plains states than they are out east where we are here. But nonetheless, there were Moline dealers out here, and there certainly was a bunch of Moline tractors out in this part of the world as well, but not as many as there were out west. Their engines are known for high displacement, high torque, low RPMs, which gave them the ability to last a lot longer with a lot less wear than the faster revving engines. So in water well applications out in the Midwest where you're running irrigation pumps, Minneapolis Moline found favor with pumping water with their big 800 HD 800 cubic inch engine, which ran on gasoline, LP gas, or diesel. Majority of those were LP gas fired because LP was cheap, and running on those pump systems, those 800s were just cheap to run and pump an awful lot of water. So they're legendary engines, legendary tractors, and unfortunately, they're a brand that's no longer with us. So in 1963, Minneapolis Moline was purchased by White Motors and was merged into the White Motors mantra of trying to get themselves to their corporate tractor, which came out in 1976, the White tractor. So in 1960, White Motors bought Oliver. In 1963, they bought Minneapolis Moline, and they also bought Cockshut up in Canada. We'll cover Cockshut and Oliver in future episodes of our little show here because we got some tractors to show you there as well. But anyways, the G1000 was made in 3 styles. Let's go right out here and look at the real one. It'll be easier to explain. This tractor is a G1000 Wheatland. This is a 1968 model. The Wheatland tractor you climb on from the back. This has dust shields right here in the front so you can't step up in the normal way. This is just one of the 3 variations of the G1000. The second one would be a row crop G1000, which would have an adjustable tread front end and would have steps over here. And one of the more highly sought after tractors is the G1000 Vista, which has an elevated operator station and a side console with all the controls. The shifting and the hydraulic remote controls and everything are in the throttle, are all on a console on the right hand side. The Vista has 3 steps to climb up on there and has a commanding view of the fields that you're working. There's a lot of Vistas out there. There were a total of 7,397 Minneapolis Moline G1000 tractors made, but only 89 of the diesel tractors made with the mechanical front wheel assist. Now these tractors were manufactured with a gasoline engine, an LP gas engine, and this, the diesel engine, all of them 504 cubic inch, inline, naturally aspirated engines of the long stroke, low RPM Moline design, which made this engine a very, very long lasting engine. This tractor is very, very heavy built. You can see by the castings and everything, it's a very heavy tractor. They never had much traction issues with these tractors, especially with the front wheel assist. This one has 23/130 rear rubber, so it sits lower, where a Vista would often be on 38-inch rubber and the tractor would sit higher, plus the operator station would sit a lot higher. This tractor has a very warm spot in my heart. I bought it 4 years ago from a gentleman named Charlie Hokema from Montana. Charlie's father, Dave Hokema, sold this tractor new in 1968. He was with Churchill Implement in Manhattan, Montana, and that dealership exists to this day as a very large Massey and AGCO dealer. Charlie and his wife Glenna restored this tractor. Mr. Dave Hokema was still with us. He was 92 when I bought this tractor. He sold it new in 1968, and Charlie had the opportunity to buy it back from the family of the man that bought it new, and he did a full restoration of this tractor. The gentleman that painted this tractor is probably has done the best paint job I've ever seen on a tractor in my life. I think there are Mercedes-Benz cars that are brand new on the dealer's lot that don't have as good a quality paint job as this G1000 Wheatland has. So as a Wheatland, this tractor has the rear entry operator station. The controls are to the right-hand side of the seat. Dave, you want to climb right up on there and show them the wide open operator station? It has a 2-speed, a 540 and 1000 PTO, 5-speed transmission, and a 2-speed Amplitorque, which is Minneapolis Moline's answer to the International Harvester torque amplifier. It's a 2-speed power shift. Over here on the right-hand side is the levers for the hydraulic remotes. She's equipped with 2 sets of remotes and a big heavy drawbar. Once again, as a Wheatland tractor, this was out in wheat country. This would not be used for cultivation of row crops or anything like that. It has the big Wheatland fenders on it. It's just a beautiful shining example of these. Now, of the diesel tractors, there were 89 made with front wheel assist out of a total of 7,397 G1000s built. These tractors tested at the University of Nebraska with all 3 engines, gasoline, LP gas, and diesel. And they all came out about 111 horsepower at the power takeoff. So the LP gas is 2/100ths of a horsepower less than gasoline, and the diesel is an even 111. So they were just shy, just hundredths of the horsepower shy of 111, except for the diesel, which did test 111 at the Nebraska tractor test. This is one of my favorite tractors that we have out here. She's a throaty sounding girl when you've got her out and running, and just a beautiful tractor to operate. Of the 89 front wheel assist tractors, 14 were immediately exported to Australia, 6 in 1968 and 8 in 1969. So that leaves a total of 75 diesel front wheel assist G1000s in North America between the US and Canada. And of those, there's a surprising number of these that are survivors. Right now, I looked this morning on Tractor House, and I believe there's 4 front wheel assist G1000s available. So if you've caught the classic tractor fever and this prairie gold color of the Minneapolis Moline catches your attention, you can join the club and get right on there. There's actually pretty reasonably priced tractors out there that I noticed this morning. And we also have in our collection a G1000 Vista, which is the high station tractor with front wheel assist. And we'll cover that when it's a little warmer. It's out in one of the cold barns, and we'd like to bring it out and maybe drive it for you on the day that we share that one. So suffice to say, the G1000, although the Moline name is no longer manufactured, these tractors live on in the hands of collectors, and people have a very big following for Minneapolis Moline tractors due to their long-term durability and their claim to being the world's finest tractors. I'd like to remind folks that if you would share these videos, we're going to take the names of everybody that shared, we're going to throw your name in the hat, and we're going to draw the name out, and we're going to send somebody a hat and a t-shirt from our dealership right now. But Dave is on the mission to get some made for the toy and the real McCoy, something with a nice design. So in the future we'll be doing that. But right now, if you'll share these videos so they get out there a little bit, or tune us in on YouTube under Tractor Tim and the Toys, we sure would appreciate it. We're having a lot of fun bringing this collection to you, and we've got a lot more in line with the tractors, and we have quite a collection of trucks. So we probably will start sharing some trucks with you here at some point, and give you a little taste of what we're going to do next week. I suggest that we're probably going to do something in an agricultural crawler. So either a John Deere crawler, or an International, or a Moline. We got some of all of them out here. So we're going to share a crawler with you next weekend, and take your suggestions as to anything we can do to improve our little show that we're doing with you here. And if you notice, I'm wearing a hat from Argyle Farm Machinery, a local legend, our friend Lester Lufkin, who's no longer with us. He sold an awful lot of New Holland machinery and was known for his excellent parts service and service department, taking care of farmers in Washington and Saratoga counties here. And I just scored this new old stock Argyle Farm Machinery hat, and it's going to draw the ire of some of the people that are related to Lester here today. We'll have a little fun with that. So I dedicate this broadcast to the real legends of this industry, the plow peddlers like Lester Lufkin and Dave Hokema, who helped farmers modernize and feed America and the rest of the world. Thanks for sharing, and have a great day, and God bless you all.
Before we finish, John Anderson was just asking, might be something anybody else is wondering, if that has a Coleman front.
This is not a Coleman front end. This is a Clark front wheel assist. Clark was what was used under the Oliver, the Cockshot, and the Minneapolis Moline. Let's go over by the axle and we'll look at it for a minute. John, one thing sure about the Coleman is it has the big moon hub caps that cover the planetaries. And on the Clark front axle, it doesn't. It has the small hub. So that's the way you can instantly tell the difference. Small hub, such as it is, that's a pretty monstrous hub, really, if you look at it. Thank you all very much.